yeah. No, I guess so.
We're like an NFL team. We can't waste our championship window here. All right.
Okay.
We are live. Let's try this fucking thing again. Excuse
Gosh, I hope so.
on the last broadcast, people. We are live with another episode of Blue Collar Cantina, the first ever movie review episode of the Cantina. I
Oh, go ahead.
am, of course, joined by It's Rated Merc,
So,
Mark Guajardo.
I can't even pronounce my last name. I'm already an embarrassment too.
I was
I'm
going to say, like, I
Hispanic
feel
family.
bad. I've known you for a few years. I still can't say your name.
I can't say my name after 30 years. It's Mark.
That's
Guajardo. Good. It's embarrassing. But yeah, it's I'm here and we're gonna talk about Scream 6, which I've been wanting to talk about for an entire week already.
Yeah. You were wanting to talk about Scream 6 for an entire year.
Yeah. No, the second they announced they were making they were green the second they announced the sixth film, I was like, what the heck? And so I've been like hyped for an entire year for this. And so I don't know. I have so much to say about this film. Like I could even I'm not gonna go on every detail just yet, obviously. But yeah, obviously, like from my excitement, like I'm wearing a freaking Scream shirt, for God's sake. I'm not even. Yeah. This franchise means it's like a big deal for me. It's like the reason why I got into like horror films. I know they brought that up in Scream 5 as a meta thing, but I was like, whoa, that's me. That's literally me. That's why I got into this. So I'm excited to talk about Scream 6. Before we start talking about the movie, like you're obviously into the series too, right? Obviously we're talking here, but
yeah. So the original Scream to me is an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah,
it was,
in my opinion,
brilliantly directed because Wes Craven is a fucking genius.
Yeah,
script was incredible. Marketing of killing off your highest paid the biggest star in the opening scene is insane. And I mean, really, it gets thrown under the rug. You got a lot of very good acting performances, not just from the obvious, like Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, and they obviously they made their name off this, but Matthew Lillard is one of the killers, and Skeet Ulrich, Bill Loomis, they were like legit terrifying, and they did a very good job at the end of that movie, is being like sick-minded killers and going that switch from innocent teenager. The original's a masterpiece, and so the series to me, the other thing that stands out to me with the series is that, especially now after seeing this movie, I can say this: we are 6 movies into the series. There is not a single bad outing.
No, there hasn't. It's a thing.
The worst outing to me, the worst Scream movie to me, is Scream 3.
Damn.
And, well, I know you're a big Scream 3 fan.
Yeah.
Be out on this. If Scream 3 is the worst movie in the series to me, that's a pretty good series, because I don't think that's a bad movie.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I think that one gets unfair. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be.
Well, I don't know if I could chime in on this, but no, you're completely right. Like for the Scream franchise, I like to think there's not really a bad Scream movie. There's like weaker ones, but they're not. But that doesn't mean they're like the worst. Like you could go to like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, and you could literally pick out which one's like the garbage movie you don't want to see.
Yeah, and they all went off the rails way before the 6th movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like since you mentioned Wes Craven, I was even thinking of Nightmare on Elm Street. Like by their sixth film, Freddy's Dead, that movie's like garbage. It's like it's
Oh,
not even.
Freddy Dead was terrible.
Yeah. It's like it's not
Horrible.
salvageable. It's not even a fun B movie. It's just bad. Like it's crazy. And so when it comes to the Scream films, yeah, I agree. I don't think there's like any bad ones. For me personally, since you mentioned Scream 3, um, I don't know. My mind changes on which one's the weakest one. I sometimes I want to say Scream 2. Sometimes I want to say Scream 5, but that one's not even. I mean, that one's a solid film for sure. I think
I'm actually a huge fan of Scream 5.
it's good. It's a good reinvention of the series, or I don't know what you call it, but like
I
it brought it back
It's a
up to popularity.
I believe they would call it a requel, right?
Oh yeah, that's what they said. Uh, but it's a good requel. It's a good solid film. The reason I have it like 5 or 2 as my lowest is just more of personal preference. When you mentioned Scream 3, I'm biased on that wholeheartedly. It's because Scream 3 was like the first Scream film I ever saw, because I saw it like when I was 9 when it came out like on VHS, and that
You're
was for.
weird. Why do you do things backwards?
I don't know, dude. I thought about this the other day because like I'm a big like horror fan as well, and I noticed the odd movies that I watched as a kid are like the ones that I like a lot. Like in the Alien films, everyone hates Alien Resurrection, but as a kid, for some reason, I somehow rented it, and I was able to digest that film like normally because it's a goofy movie. So as a kid,
Yeah,
you're like,
well,
oh,
actually, well, I watched Alien Resurrection as a kid. I loved it, but
yeah, exactly.
I
Or
didn't
or
watch
how,
that first.
mhm.
The
or like
other
how
Alien first.
no, what?
I watched the other, but I watched the other Alien movies before I
Oh,
watched Alien Resurrection. I watched them in order.
yeah. No, that's what I did. I watched like the trilogy and 3, like, oh my god, even as an adult, like how the heck did I watch that as a kid? Because there's like a lot of horrific scenes in that film. But I guess my point is like the odd movies that people say they're bad, I think because I watched them as a kid, I have like a certain bias to it. Like another franchise like RoboCop, people hate 3. For some reason, that's another film where I saw the third
Terrible
film
movie.
first. I saw the third film first, and I liked it, and then when I'm only able to watch it because of nostalgia. Like I do not give a crap if the story sucks,
Such
if
a
it
bad
does.
movie.
It's a
It's
bad
such a
film.
bad movie.
It's a boring, bland film. But I think when I watch it, I put on my nostalgia goggles on, and I just love it. Like I don't know.
Ro-
It.
uh, um, RoboCop 3 is a movie that I like to pretend didn't happen.
Oh
We should
yeah,
we should we should go back to talking about Scream 6 before I get annoyed. I'm starting to think about RoboCop 3.
yeah. I okay. Yeah, you're exactly. My bad. My bad. Yeah. Okay. I guess on to Scream 6. I have to take off my glasses for a minute, but I guess we're gonna talk about the film first, just a little bit, and go to spoilers, or is this all spoiler territory?
I guess let's try not to go too heavy, but we
Oh
did wait a
wait,
week.
yeah.
We did let the spoiler embargo lift, right? Isn't that the rules of social media? 1 week.
Um, yes, it might. Like I know in TV shows, it's usually like a week, and for films, depending on what it is, it's usually a week. It's been a week. We could talk about it if someone hasn't seen Scream 6 yet. Well, what the hell? It's not our fault for like talking about it. There's other people that's reviewers has talked about the spoilers, but if you want, we can like not go too much into it. At least if whatever you think is cool.
Yeah,
But
let's try not to completely kill the movie.
yeah.
But so first off, they they moved Scream 6 into the big city now. They're in New York, and
Yeah.
for before I even saw the movie, from seeing the trailers,
Mhm.
I loved this. I loved
Oh hell yeah.
adding that aspect into it because it's funny how the the Scream movies, as much as they deconstruct the horror franchise,
Yeah.
it took the classic steps
Mm-hmm.
of all the big horror movies,
Mm-hmm.
all the big slasher budgets, all the
Yeah.
big slashes.
Yeah.
Jason went to New York.
Mm-hmm.
The Leprechaun went to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostface is going to New York.
Okay. Oh yeah, all of them. Yeah. No, I dig it.
So right away in the opening scene, we have a Ghostface killing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you see this lady answer a phone in the bar. And I'm sitting there eating my popcorn. This lady answers a phone in the bar. The fucking first 2 minutes of a Scream movie. I'm like, she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
answered her phone. You're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they show this guy's face right away.
That was a crazy not
That
the
was
reveal.
that was the
What's
he
his name?
fakes her and thinking he's gonna be the date. He kills her in the alleyway, and then he walks away and he tosses the mask. First of all, I love that. It makes it all the other slashers
Mm-hmm.
have never really utilized like that aspect of in a big city like New York.
Yeah.
Any of these big cities, think about how easy it is for someone to just walk away from killing somebody in an alleyway like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he just moved into a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just so easily, and I thought it was very well done how they managed to show that aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They show his face right away.
Mm-hmm.
They show him talking to Tara,
Mm-hmm.
Jenna Ortega. Right away, I'm like, there's no way this is the killer. There's no way.
Like
After
the film's gonna
that they're gonna show us who the killer is in the first fucking 5 movie. No way. And then he's dead. And I loved it.
Yeah, yeah. There was a
What do you got?
Oh, you go. You finish. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that we had like 2 killings in the first like 15 minutes of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a body count of like 8 in the first hour. By far the most violent
right?
movie. Yeah, I think there's like 8 people dead in the first like hour of the movie.
Oh.
It's the most violent to me, most violent Scream movie.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. When you're talking about like the intro, I will say that I do like that it starts off like a normal Ghostface Scream cliche. Like even the lady has blonde hair, just like Drew Barrymore. There's like an homage to that. But what I really liked about it was that it kind of threw you for a loop because you're like, okay, is the whole film going to be like this where we're going to know who the killer is and you know, like see how that unravels? Because I thought that would have been an interesting hook.
I thought it could have been an interesting twist too, but I couldn't see it with the Scream movie.
Yeah, because then the gimmick will go away like after.
The reveal of who takes the mask off at the end is like one of their favorite parts to do in that franchise.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. That's why I was curious, like what they were gonna do. Like, dude, I had so many thoughts within the first 10 minutes. Because first it was that, like, are we gonna know who the killer is throughout the whole film? For some weird reason, because I knew this film before going in that it was gonna be set during Halloween, and so when they showed Jenna Ortega and like a few of the other friends from the 5th film going to a Halloween party, I thought, wait, is this entire film set in one night?
I had that thought too. I thought it was just gonna be right at like a Halloween party. I was like, are they gonna start doing a play on the Halloween movies too? Like while
yeah, I would have dug that. Like I would have liked it a little bit if they did something a little different. But I did like how, you know, obviously how the story went and stuff, so it wasn't so bad. But no, yeah, honestly, the way the movie started was like a solid like whoa, like, you know, it was completely different.
Yeah.
What, and when you mentioned earlier about how it being like the goriest, it really was. Okay, so I don't know whoever's listening here has Cinemark, the theater. I saw it on D-Box. Christ, like those seats move. Like the seats move whenever you're watching an action film. And you mentioning there's like 8 kills within the first hour, it being hella gory. Dude, like my seat kept moving like so nonstop, like during like all those scenes. It was pretty badass. Like it felt like you were like, in the sequence with Ghostface. So I don't know. I just thought for my movie going experience that was fun. So it kind of added to that.
That does sound awesome. And I mean,
Yeah.
And it, like I said, it starts out fast like
Yeah.
that. It doesn't exactly slow down
Mm-hmm.
at any point, because that the sequence that, to me, I mean, the sequence that really cements it as the most violent Ghostface, the most violent Scream movie,
Yeah.
and one that everyone's seen on the trailers already,
Mm-hmm.
is the convenience store, the liquor store
Oh
scene.
yeah. That scene
That
I
scene
loved. Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
That was
perfect.
so well done. It was intense. It was creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was suspenseful. Now, here's another thing with the Scream movies. I actually mention it during the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. None of the characters feel safe to me.
Oh yeah, because you're like second guessing who really is the killer or not.
Yeah,
And
I never actually can tell who's gonna live or die. I mean,
yeah.
there's the main characters I worry about actually during the movies. And I never actually know,
Mm-hmm.
especially these new ones, because they're not really Scream's main characters.
Yeah.
Um, some of the side characters, like they introduced the roommate Annika.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay, cute chick. Roommate only has like 4 lines in the first 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
She's dead.
Oh yeah, no. That
She's a
that was a very like, okay, I guess we're just gonna like kill her off screen. And right, honestly, that's when I knew like if something was up. But because things were moving so fast, like it just didn't compute
oh,
with me.
that was a great kill scene, by the way.
Yeah.
That's actually that is one that I'm not gonna spoil for anyone who hasn't seen it,
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't think I want to say what
You
happens
know
to her.
what?
Anyone who hasn't seen it, because I think it's one of the best. Yeah, I'm gonna give another big comment to the movie. That's one of the best Ghostface kills in a few movies.
Wait, which scene exactly? The ladder scene or the
Yeah, way to kind of say it, but
Oh,
when
well, okay. Well, we don't have to say
that
who it was, and we don't even I'm not even going to reveal who the killers are. I guess I'm trying to tiptoe here and
yeah, I
figure
am
out like
too.
how,
It's
yeah.
tough.
But no, it really was like a very it wasn't even just brutal, it was just very intense. You actually felt bad for the sequence going on, like the people having to deal with the ladder and stuff. That was a great sequence. I love that. I think when I saw the film, I think I texted you the next day telling you like my favorite sequence in the entirety of the Scream franchise now is the subway scene. Cause oh my god, that was literally I've net you would think by the sixth film the whole gimmick of Ghostface just showing up or whatever would
Mhm.
not be intense, creepy. But for like the 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, I assuming that's how long it went, of that sequence, I was like, damn, this is good. And I know behind the scenes they were hyping that up because they did show like behind the
I mean,
scenes
it's in the
footage.
trailer.
Yeah, it's in the trailer. But I did also know like the cast and crew members, like they showed pictures of like because what they did is they built the subway, just that little portion. That's obviously they're going to do that for movies, but if it wasn't going to be a big scene, I don't think they would have like hyped it up behind the scenes. And it
Yeah.
kind of
Oh, we
and
built a subway. Yeah, they wouldn't have hyped that up unless they
like
were confident in the scene.
yeah. So that was like my all-time favorite like scene, Ghostface scene in any of the films because it was intense, it was creepy. I think, like I said, going back to the deep box seats, that really added to the intensity because the seats shaked like as if you were in the subway. In the subway. So I was like, damn, it was fun because call me whatever, like because I'm a small town guy. I've never been on a subway, So it was kind of fun just being on that. I was like, whoa. So I like that.
So
Uh,
now, I don't know. I'm actually gonna praise that scene with you as well. So
okay.
you said by the sixth movie in a franchise in a series, usually the gimmick is worn off a little bit.
Yeah,
And,
usually on some in most films at least.
and so the Scream movies, as much as I don't think there's a single truly bad outing in the franchise.
No.
But the Scream movies haven't made me feel real fear or like given me a real sense of terror since like probably the original. And that's
Yeah.
not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Part of that's how they write the movies to be a little funny
Yeah.
and all that. But I haven't felt that real sense of terror
Yeah.
in these movies since the original. And like I said, with Matthew Lillard and Skeet
Mhm.
Ulrich, they really knocked it out of the park. Then at the end of the first movie, that's when you feel real terror in that movie.
Yeah. It,
This this train, this
mhm.
subway sequence, now that's real suspense.
Oh hell yeah, dude! That's the
Real
word I've been trying to figure out. That's
that's
the yeah.
that it that's a great job by the actors in
Hmm.
that scene.
Hmm.
The director, I actually should have pulled the name up before we even
Oh,
said
they're
this.
well the directors. It's like it's a duo, but it's actually a trio. They're called Radio Silence. It's these three guys. They've made a couple of horror movies before making Scream 5 and 6. Have you ever seen VHS?
Yes.
Do you remember the last story? The one with they're like in a haunted house and it's like a Halloween party or something?
No.
Ah, damn. That was their like they basically contributed to like VHS 1 and then I think the subsequent sequels like as producers and maybe another story or two. But those three guys like they're very good at in my opinion, they're very good in like adding in like suspense sequence and stuff. For Scream 5, I knew like behind the scenes they were very like when they made that call to Nev Campbell and um oh man, I hate that chick from Friends, Courtney Cox. Dang, I forgot. Why did I forget her name for a minute? I know they had conversations with them too, and even David Arquette about Wes Craven, how they were fans, how they wanted the film to go, and so they were big. They're basically big Scream fans. So I think that's why the subway scene, the ladder scene, the bodega, and even the ending of this film were very handled perfectly because they're handled by like actual like Scream fans. That's just my opinion. I mean, like in terms of why I think it's good, but that's the way I always interpret it. Like why 5 and 6 um, were handled so well. If you were given this reign to like somebody else, I feel like Scream 5 and 6 would have been a I don't know. It
I see what you're saying. You can tell it's handled by people who are fans of the movies.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean I got to give them a lot of credit.
Mhm.
Uh, those directors who this that scene on the
Oh
train
yeah, yeah,
is very well directed. That
yes,
is a great job by the
hmm,
directors on that scene.
yeah.
A lot of suspense.
Hmm.
Um, now the ending.
I don't even think can we even. I don't even think we could talk about it, right? Because that's kind of going on.
Yeah, we can't say much here.
Well,
Um,
okay. I could.
I'm
Well,
what I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say is that the reveal of who the killer is was a little easy to me.
Yeah. Um. Without okay. Ah man. Okay. I'm not even gonna say any clues or anything, but I will say if I had any negatives, and it's very bad to say that because I actually enjoyed this film a lot. Um. The reveal and stuff wasn't as surprising, I suppose.
Yes.
Because
Um,
like when I think back on, like I think the big one that was a big, is the original trilogy, like Scream 2, Billy Loomis's mom and all that stuff, or Scream 3, like Sydney has a brother. It's like that to me was like elite, like
And even
reveals.
Scream 4 was like, oh
Oh yeah,
shit, film nerds.
dude, like
Like
oh
that reveal when he stabs Kirby
yeah.
in the fourth Scream was awesome. And by the way, Kirby being back in the Scream movies, love that character. I
What'd you
hope.
think of her in the film? I know you're already just saying that. I'm sorry,
I thought
but
I thought she was underutilized.
yeah, yeah,
I thought we should have gotten more of Kirby because they told me Kirby was back in the movies
yeah.
like a
I
year and a
agree.
half ago.
Yeah, that was a very big like at least in the horror movie side of Twitter and TikTok, like Hayden Panettiere coming back. When I saw Scream 4, I remember that being such a downer that she died. And the biggest piece of trivia, and I guess it makes sense why I brought this the directors up earlier. Wes Craven said in interviews, like before his passing and everything, that he didn't want Hayden Panettiere's character Kirby to die. Like that was his intention for his original idea for Scream 5 was for her to come back. So for these guys to like bring her back in this film, I was like, okay, you're actually honoring what Wes wanted. I think that's great. I did want her to show up more, and I mean, she did do a lot. I
I
guess.
did so I guess why I want to see more of her is because her interaction with Mindy,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah,
is something that of course people have wanted since Scream 4 and Scream 5.
yeah.
It felt a little forced and a little too quick. It was like the timing of when they had their interaction and go back and forth about movies
Oh
was like it was like, dude, you guys got way too much going on right now. What do you
yeah.
like?
That was
Like,
a random scene.
yeah, it was. It didn't that. So I guess these are my only negatives on the movie.
Okay,
I sucks that the
that there is.
negatives more
Yeah,
towards the but yeah, I thought having Kirby and Mindy finally interact and talk about movies
yeah,
right before the final showdown with Ghostface, as they're waiting for it to happen. By the way,
yeah.
it's not. It's not like they're at a party and they're just
Hmm.
in the rest of the movies and they're just hanging out.
Hmm.
They they know it's coming
Yeah.
and they're sitting there like going back and forth about like what their favorite movie. It's like, nah, I don't know. I feel like the FBI agent here. Like, oh, sorry, spoiler. I guess
Ah,
that's not
it's
a spoiler, but
it's not
I
that
feel
bad a spoiler. It's fine.
yeah, I feel like the FBI agent in Kirby here
Yeah,
um, would be a little more serious
yeah.
going into the showdown with the serial killer as she's been here before.
Hmm.
And then, like I said, that reveal, um, I kind of could have seen who
Who it
I can
was, or who, or as Dewey would
I
say, he, she, they,
I
whoever.
I saw who it was coming pretty early on. It wasn't
um.
it wasn't hard to really
Well,
to really figure out.
can I interject on that real quick?
Yeah.
Um. So okay, and this is okay. Let me just say this for first and foremost. I
No, I
guess.
did. Well, actually, I'm going to add one other thing.
Yeah. Go. Yeah.
Figured out who it was. I could figure out who it was
Hmm.
from a while before the ending, not the other ones. All right, yeah,
Whoever. Like, I'm just trying to.
I couldn't have all of them right away. I had the main one
Okay.
early. I didn't have the motives,
Okay.
and I thought what his motives were was a nice touch.
Okay. Oh, is that it or?
Yeah, that's no, that's all
Oh.
I'll say.
Oh, I thought you were
Because
gonna. Okay.
if
No, I
I
get. I
keep,
get.
I think we'll spoil things.
Oh, I
I
get
don't.
you. I get you.
But it was a good nod to Scream 5. It was a good use of old characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. if I was gonna say, okay, so when it comes to that whole like sequence and the ending stuff, I think what kind of screwed me up and maybe a few other Scream fans was how the marketing kind of hyped up more of like the history of the Scream movies because obviously there's that amazing sequence when they go to the Ghostface shrine where you see all the items from like the past like 5 films, and that's great. I loved seeing like little things from the series, um and so but the it's a good sequence, but because of that, it made it seem to me and other Scream fans like this killer was going to be somebody from like the original movies. And there's been so many theories, like so many crazy theories before this film came out that I
There's
guess
there's one that me and you talked about before. I don't know if I even want to say.
who I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, honestly, dude, there's so many theories. Like, it's not. You could. It's a theory. You can bring it up.
I was waiting for them to pull a classic Scream fake out and for
Who?
Neve actually show up but be
Yes.
Ghostface. That's what I was. So I guess actually, I'm glad it wasn't because
Yeah.
I guess that would kind of ruin um, her character to me.
Yeah.
Her not being in this movie
Hmm.
is noticeable.
Did so you didn't? So wait, I didn't hear that last part. You didn't like her not being in the film? In the film?
Yeah,
Or
I thought it's a noticeable absence. I did think their reasoning behind that they used,
Mhm.
like for her not being there, was good.
Yeah,
But I actually thought it was very good. It's something she should have done a
yeah.
long time ago.
Mhm.
But with
It's
certain things that happen to other certain characters,
yeah,
yes, um, it's a little surprising
yeah.
that she
It's
doesn't show up.
mhm. It's a big the term like double edged blade or double sided sword, whatever the term is, because for me, I wanted her in the film. Obviously, I felt like, hey, blah blah blah. I forgot the name of the studio, but yeah, pay her worth. Pay what she wants because she is the face of the franchise. Even if she's in it for 5 minutes, pay her because she honestly like the reason Scream 5 was so big was because they did this really well balanced to bring introducing newer characters that like people that barely got into
Yep.
Scream like, and then older fans like us because oh Nev, David Arquette, Courtney Cox are back, even other people like Dewey's sister and Deputy Hicks and all that stuff. It's great, but yeah, I did feel like her absence was noticeable, but in my opinion, after seeing the film, I'm like, I don't know how she would have
Well,
been
then
in the
that's
film.
it. If they put her in the film, would have been the same way she shows up in the other films. As
Yeah,
I'm going back up to take on this killing that actually doesn't have anything to do with me
hmm,
until I go up and interject myself into the situation.
yeah,
Like, because she's not even she won't even be living in Woodsboro and like in the other movies. And there's a Ghostface killing in Woodsboro. She's like, oh,
yeah,
my bag's going back
yeah,
to Woodsboro, and then she's
hmm,
fighting the killer. So
yeah.
like it did make sense. It was act
Hmm.
um and
But
it helped for the core four as they
oh
start to
yeah,
call themselves in this movie. Um,
yeah,
it it helped them kind of take
hmm,
over the role for themselves.
hmm,
I feel like step out of her shadow.
yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
I get what you mean. Let me sure. I guess like okay, so for Scream 6, like I didn't mind her not being in it, even though I did wish she did show up. I do know that including me that there's fans that want her for Scream 7. They before the film even dropped, like I think the
that
like
was just going to be the next thing I asked you.
oh what Scream
Do you
7?
think there will be a Scream 7?
There is. They announced it like 2
Oh,
days before. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, why don't
They
you tell me that?
I thought you. Well, I posted on Twitter. I didn't. I didn't know. Like, my bad. I should have sent it.
Oh,
Like,
damn it, God damn it, Mark. We're
yeah,
supposed to be a bad team. All right, that
I
was a
know. I
yeah.
posted a
So
Morbius meme, and I was waiting for. I posted a Morbius meme today, and Steph commented, and I was waiting for you. Like, hey, is Steve gonna
there was a
interject?
meme. I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, because everything, everywhere, all at once. Passed. I don't know why they made it into a
Oh,
post.
I actually saw that it passed Morbius. I actually saw the tweet that it passed Morbius. I was like, oh,
It's one of those things where it's like, duh, of course it's gonna make
oh. The best picture winner did made more money than more.
Morbius.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
oh god.
but funny.
Mhm. But
So, what would you give this first star rating out of 10?
okay. So I'm gonna do it two ways if you'll allow me.
Sure.
I'm gonna give the rating for this film, but I'm also gonna give my ranking on the films. Okay.
Oh,
So
shit. I didn't know you wanted to do that. I should have
I
prepared mine.
I I don't know. It was just something that I saw on like Instagram last week, and I was like, man, what is my ranking? And it changes all the time.
Mine does
Um,
too.
if I have to give a rating, honestly, it's like a solid, like it's a good film. I give it like a solid like 8, maybe like a solid 8. I need to rewatch it. It might be closer to a 7, but not a bad 7. Like, but it for sure right now 8, because there was a lot more positives that I had with the Ghostface scenes than anything. There was a lot. Okay, if I want to say the reason for that, like a 7, is because my issues in the film were like people getting stabbed like a million times and surviving. Some of the
That,
dialogue wasn't as good,
yeah,
right?
okay. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
There is a couple scenes. Well, okay, for one, there's a few scenes where I'm like, they got stabbed
yeah,
way too many times. I know we're in a horror movie, but
yeah.
no. And the dialogue, yeah, a couple of times.
It
My
it,
rough
it was
at times.
yeah.
But
Just
then great times.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot more pros than cons in this film. The stuff that I'm not liking, they don't really ruin the film for me. Like, I could watch Scream 6 like as many times as I want, and I think the Ghostface scenes will like, like it'll make up for like those things.
Yeah.
But as for ranking, I already told one of my buddies this. That's why it's just gonna be quick. Like, my ranking on a personal bias, people, on my personal dumb opinion, because I'm an idiot. This isn't. This is my object. This is just my ranking. It doesn't mean
This
it's
is
the
my
right one.
opinion.
Yeah, it is not. Is I'm saying this because the minute I say number one, it's like the doy. That's like, so. Going from best to worst, best would be Scream 3, and then Scream 1, Scream 4. I'm just gonna say the numbers. So like 3, 1, 4, 2, 6, 5. I know that sounds weird putting the two new films on such the lowest pedestal on here, but they're new. They 5 has yet to like I've yet to like memorize lines on that effing film. But for 4 and the original trilogy, I could like quote those films like all effing day. And so but
So
yeah,
all right. I'm gonna have to rewatch a couple of these.
yeah,
Really give my Scream 2. I actually think I gotta give the rewatch to really give
it's
it
not bad. It's
just
just
it's not bad at all. It's a very solid sequel. I haven't seen it in a while, so
do
it's
you
tough for
want
me
to know?
it's tough for me to compare it to 6 off the top of
Mhm.
my head when I just saw 6.
Yeah,
So my ranking, obviously, number 1, Scream 1, the original
yeah, yeah.
masterpiece. Uh, then I'm gonna go number 4,
Okay,
and then I'm gonna go number 5, actually.
okay, okay.
And now got 2 and 6 in a toss up for what's next right there.
I have a
That's where I'm stuck. This is Scream 6 is either my 4th or my 5th best movie in the series, which is not a bad thing. Again, it's Scream 1, Scream 4, Scream 5. I've seen a bunch of times.
Yeah.
The
reason I gave, maybe I'm leaning towards your choice.
Rating, I think I'd say a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, okay. I agree on that. The reason I gave Scream 2 such a low thing, and it's became a joke between like my friends that whenever I bring up the Scream films, is that I hate the cafeteria scene in Scream 2 when Jerry O'Connell starts singing, and Mickey starts clapping, and it's so corny. I hate that scene with a fiery passion.
But it's so 90s.
It's true, yeah, but I feel like there's way better scenes that are like representative of the 90s, and that one, it's so like, me, I don't know, it's a personal bias.
And isn't it the only time that Jerry O'Connell managed to look cool in his entire career?
Sure, yeah, the only time. I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember him in any other movie other than.
I remember being in one other movie, and I'll never forgive him for the false advertisement by that movie trailer.
Oh God, Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo fucking Jack, man.
Oh, fuck that film, dude. Oh my God.
If I ever meet Jerry O'Connell in person, dude, we might be fucking squaring up for the false advertisement. He was supposed to be hanging out with a kangaroo.
That talks. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, we're supposed to be hanging out, having a good time. Him and Anthony Anderson were supposed to be hanging out, having good times with a talking kangaroo.
Yeah.
Over it.
It's dumb. Like if it wasn't advertised as a kid film and they never showed that talking kangaroo scene, the film would have been like a goofy comedy, like it would have just been
goofy crime comedy.
That's it, right? That's what it is.
It's a goofy crime comedy, and it's not a terrible movie. It
just marketed as like a kid's film.
Yeah, it's an entertaining movie, but I was, oh my God, this could literally turn into another 45-minute episode.
I know.
Yeah, Kangaroo Jack is a soft spot for me. You fucking bring up Kangaroo Jack, you bring up Jerry O'Connell, I tend to get angry. Anthony Anderson has at least done enough other things in his career that I could forgive him.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Like but Anthony Anderson for the Shield, so I'm like, all right, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you, Jerry O'Connell.
Mm-hmm. Gosh. Like, damn you for Kangaroo Jack, and damn you for the cafeteria scene of Scream 2. That's
what dick. God.
I know. God. Horrible. Well, did you have any?
I know I'm part of this episode. You're gonna clip.
I'm just gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna. I was literally thinking that. Like, it's like a very amazing message to Jerry O'Connell. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's whatever.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jerry O'Connell. Love the Scream franchise.
Damn you. Oh my God.
Anyway, we will be back next week.
Oh yeah.
Episode 3 and 4 of The Mandalorian.
Oh God, sorry, I'm having flashbacks to the previous episode of Mandalorian. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm not gonna get into it while we're live.
Okay, we'll wait. I'll wait till Luke's here. So you both could like roast on me about like what I did, apparently.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking, you never should have said those fucking words.
I know. You realize how weird it was waking up Wednesday morning and then seeing that episode, and I was like, God, I immediately texted Luke because I was like, fuck. And then I meant to text you, but then just stuff came up, but I was just like, oh man, it was bad. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll get mad about that next week.
Yeah.
And then after the Mandalorian review, I believe our next episode will probably be a John Wick review, unless I can bring myself to go see Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to do.
I just don't want to see it. Like I got it.
I don't really want to see it that much. I want to see it so I can give a review of it.
Okay.
But it's not playing in the Lux level in my theater
Really?
at home. So the Lux level here is it's 21 plus only. There's reclining seats. Wait service. You order the food on the app. They bring it to you. You don't have to get up.
Yeah.
And I don't even drink. But I go to the 21 plus only section because why do I want to sit with little kids?
I agree. No, I would do the same thing too and get a room.
But I don't want to be near your fucking kids when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah, no, I completely agree on that.
Not playing in the Lux level, so I'm kind of having a tough time. Like, I didn't really want to go see the movie that much anyway.
Yeah.
Talking about and like to go see it in the regular seating when I prefer to go see a movie in the Lux level. I might try to see if I can get it on like an early access rental or something. It also doesn't look
bad.
Yeah. But yeah, catch us up probably next Sunday for another Mandalorian episode.
Yeah.
Mark will hopefully never use a certain 3-word phrase commonly spoken by fans ever again.
No, I won't.
Not
anymore. I didn't even know it was a sports phrase. Gosh, that's so. Oh, whatever.
All right. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next Sunday.